Good morning, friends. This is going to be a fun day. You and I are going to set up the living room. This is how the house looked the day that we moved in. The yard is a bit shaggy and everything needs a good cleaning, but we were so excited to get started. From the first moment that I stepped into what would become our living room, I felt like it was familiar, as if I'd been there before. It was so homey and comfortable, and it felt right. The homey brick fireplace, the small size of the room, and the big picture window, flooding the room with light, were all going to be wonderful features to work with. Older homes have quirks, and this double doorway was going to be the biggest challenge for any kind of friendly furniture layout, especially with the second opening looking straight into the hall bath, which is a bit odd. Besides the fact that there is a small closet in the corner that we would need to access as well. We began by putting the largest pieces of furniture in place first while we were percolating on what to do with the double opening. Not just here in the living room, but throughout the house, I have been amazed how well our things have just seemed to fit and to really blend with the style and size of this house. As this side of the living room began to fall into place, we came up with a temporary solution of covering the second opening with my bookcase. Just so happens that it fit absolutely perfectly. The wood tone even matched with the frame around the door. If you hadn't seen this room before, I don't think you would realize that the bookcase was covering a second opening. Yes, the back of the bookcase does look a bit odd in the hallway, but a lot less odd than looking into the bathroom while you're sitting on the couch. I love having books in a living room. It just seems so cozy and right. And without the need to cover that second opening, I don't think I would have included the bookcase at all. Not only did the bookcase cover the opening and offer a place to display books, but it also helped with the layout. Now that we had a continuous, quote, wall, we were able to put furniture on both sides in a convivial way. This solution has also retained access to the small coat closet in the corner, and I also feel like that the height and the darkness of the wood on the bookcase is a great balance for the fireplace on the opposite side of the room. I have found it to be strange and oddly surprising when setting up house in a new place that the things brought along from our previous life have had that magical ability to make a space instantly seem like home. To the left of the closet, right beside the English rolled arm sofa, there was the perfect amount of room for this faux bamboo table and lamp combo that I found on Marketplace last year sometime. I'm telling you, it was really fun and exciting seeing how these pieces were coming together, even though they were remixed in a different space. The second tricky spot in this room was to the left of the fireplace. This little bit of wall has a return vent and only so much room for a piece of furniture and ample clearance for the walkway. This antique buffet that we found on the side of the road years ago is a perfect fit width-wise. It is a little bit too deep and comes past the trim, but after weeks and weeks of searching on Marketplace, I couldn't find anything that would work better. So for now, it will do just fine, and who knows, maybe at some point in the future we can have a lovely custom built-in put in that spot. I enjoy all the aspects of setting up a new home, but I think probably one of my favorite parts is what comes near the end, adding lamps and hanging art. Nothing says home quite like the warm glow of a lamp. Couple this with well-chosen, well-hung art and you have a perfect mix. I love stacking art and layering it behind a lamp. It just has the most cozy lived-in feeling. Behind this lamp, we had to get a bit creative and choose a large portrait-style piece of art with a smaller piece above that by intentionally placing the gap between the two stacked pieces of art. It gave the maximum visibility while still giving us that wonderfully layered look. When I first began buying art, I thrifted almost all of it. I had a very small budget and a very undeveloped taste. Over time, though, I've been able to buy nicer pieces and pieces that I know will work well together and with a color scheme that goes with our home. One of the things I missed the very most during the move were my design books. We didn't want to move the bookcases any more than we had to until we were certain of where they were going. So this was one of the last things to get put together. And somehow in the move, we lost the clips that support the shelves. So as you will notice, I'm only able to put 2 shelves together in this bookcase. But that's okay. We will find replacement clips somewhere at some point. Matt and I just love how this room turned out. It is just the coziest, most inviting space. Here is how we saw it when we first toured the home. So very different from how it is now. Even though this living room layout is very different from our last home, the English country house style still carries through. The mix of vintage finds, soft textiles, antiques, and collected art has brought a sense of familiarity. Moving and setting up house in a new place has illustrated for me that this look, the English country house or English cottage style, isn't tied to a particular style of building, but it's an easy way of layering charm, warmth, and creating a home with your loved look no matter where you live. For most of you watching, I know that you love cottage style in one flavor or another, whether it's coastal, French, modern cottage, and there's just great news for all of you. It is such a friendly, laid-back style to work with. Let's take a fascinating look at before and afters of this same room with different decor styles. This is country, but a little bit primitive. Here's mine before I'm completely decorated. Traditional English country house, still country, but such a different feeling. Here's another before looking out the front door, still a rather primitive feeling with a modern touch in the furniture. Then the same view with our things that are in the English country house style. I am reminded again through this process how important it is to choose pieces that are timeless, that share a common color palette, because they mix and remix so easily, no matter the layout or the home that you've chosen. We still have a ways to go to have this room fully infused with the English country house style. The room is just calling out for a rug, paint on the walls, drapes. So I'd like to share with you some of the inspiration photos that I have been intrigued by. For starters, I have loved the blue and red combo that I've seen over and over in English country house rooms. The red is a muted kind of Nantucket red, and the blue is most often a faded denim. As you can see, the opportunity for variety is great while not being a crazy mix of colors, which, as you all know, I love pattern mixing. Here is an English-style living room that caught my eye. I like the blue walls, the touches of red, the rustic beams, the unique lamps with the colorful printed lampshades, and the layered art. Here's another take on the same color palette, a little bit different mix, with less reds and a softer, almost pink sofa. With the oversized fireplace and the wall-to-wall bookcases, this space has kind of a living room / snug feel to it that's very appealing. In this tiny living room, we see blue walls again, rustic beams, a fireplace, vivid red chairs, and a rug with the blue and the red that ties everything together. I'm counting 6 different patterns in this one room, but I think because they're all so well blended and they're muted colors, the casual observer would probably say, oh, there's 2 or 3 patterns in that room. I would like to achieve something like that in our living room. This final sitting room or drawing room is a little bit more formal, and the color palette is a little bit softer, which is a pale blue and pink for the most part. While I am leaning towards the stronger blue and red color palette, I could see where this could easily morph into a lovely bedroom scheme. In this space, I am counting 8 different patterns, but again, it is so calm because the color palette goes together so well. If, like me, you love pattern mixing, but you find it a bit intimidating and you're not sure where to start, I have a pattern mixing course available. The course includes 9 lessons covering the basics of pattern mixing, getting started with pattern mixing, patterned placements, which pattern goes where, frequently asked questions, worksheets to help you get started, and a robust Pinterest board created specifically for inspiration on pattern mixing. All of this for $20. You will find a link in the description box below with all the information you need to get started. Now, back to the living room. For a rug, I'd like to find something that is primarily in the Nantucket red coloring. Not a bright red, but a soft red. I've been browsing on Marketplace and this beautiful rug popped up, although I have the feeling that it's probably a lot brighter than what I'm really looking for. At 10 by 13, it's a nice size, but it's also over $2,000. I will definitely keep looking. This 9 by 12 rug at $250 is actually a possibility. This last rug is my favorite because the colors do appear to be muted, but unfortunately this one is over $800. Purchasing a rug is most likely a big ticket item, but besides that, it's probably going to be a lifetime decision, so this is what I'm going to take my time on. One thing I have found on Marketplace that I did pick up is this English rolled arm chair. It was nearby, only $20, which allowed us enough in the budget to rent an upholstery cleaner. This chair made an easy swap with the yellow floral wingback we used to have in there, which has now bumped into the study, so stay tuned for both of those changes. Another chair I have my eye on is this beautiful black antique chair on Marketplace. It would be an ideal desk chair for correspondence without adding a lot of heavy visual weight to the room. $100 still feels a little bit steep, so I may make them an offer and see if they'll come down. And lastly, for this room I've been thinking about wallpaper. Oh yes, I have stacks of samples and it's very hard to decide. Here are a couple of favorites. You and I both know that getting all of those projects done and finding all of those furniture pieces takes time. And that's the very best way to put together a room. So, in the meantime, here's a DIY project we can complete today. We came across the pieces of this broken wood holder in different places on the property, and we were challenged. I wonder if we could fix them. So Matt starts sanding down where the weld broke. Now, ideally, it would be great if we could just have this re-welded, but we don't have a welder, so we are going to make do with an adhesive called JB Weld and a pair of hose clamps. Once the adhesive is liberally applied, Matt puts the broken piece back in place, then secures it with a pair of hose clamps. Once the adhesive dries, the firewood holder is as sturdy as ever. For a final touch, I gave the firewood holder a good coat of black spray paint. I don't remember if we used Rust-Oleum or not. I would assume that we did. And if so, it would protect the firewood holder from rusting. Every once in a while, it's nice to have a simple, budget-friendly DIY project like this. For the cost of a can of spray paint and a couple of hose clamps, we have a nice, large firewood holder that is practically brand new. And you know, the perfect pairing for a firewood holder is firewood. And that's the other thing that we have ample amounts of on this property. It's everywhere. It's free. It just takes a good bit of elbow grease. Believe it or not, the footage collected for this video spans all the way from the end of June to the middle of November. We are beginning to see the leaves fall, the trees are more bare, and there's starting to be a little bit of a nip in the air. There is something very satisfying and comforting about having a good stock of wood ready for the cold days ahead. And I'm so grateful to Matt for doing the hard work of going about gathering, chopping, and splitting all this wood. We both are looking forward to the holidays ahead and having a warm, toasty, crackling fire in our new cozy living room. For those of you with an eagle eye, there is a glimpse of the new English rolled arm chair in the corner there. We are beginning to enjoy fires already, and it's not Thanksgiving quite yet. What fun it has been to finally share some of this footage I have been saving since June. Matt and I both are thoroughly enjoying sharing this new season with all of you, and we're so very grateful for how excited you are and that you would choose to follow along in this next chapter. If you are interested in the pattern mixing course, please take time to look at the information below and see if it's something that would be a fit for you. Thank you, friends, for joining us today as we solved a funny quirk in our living room layout. We completed a simple DIY project, getting ready for the cold days ahead. I can't wait to share with you the ideas I have for Christmas. Until next time, take care and happy Thanksgiving.